Hello everyone, and welcome to my Stardew Valley Let's Play. And we are starting off this Let's Play by creating myself as a Stardew Valley character. My name is Bo, my farm's name is Gamerger's Farm, and I struggled for here, but I decided my favorite thing was cheese. We are speeding up my creation of my character. This character looks relatively similar to how I do in real life, but not as similar as myself. So we are just finishing up, skipping the intro, and we are going to go ahead and get started. So on day one, I decided that I was just going to start off by, meeting everyone and getting my parsnip seeds and get my parsnips planted and whatnot. We are playing for at least 100 days, and then we'll see where our progress goes. This video will cover the first 5 days in year 1, spring. And while I started out, I cleaned the farm a little bit, and I planted my parsnips. I had to till and water the land, but I eventually did get them planted, and it only took around 2 in-game hours. I decided I was going to go into town to meet everyone, or at least enough people to where I could spend a good part of my day meeting people. I opened the calendar and stuff just to check it, and I went in here. I met Gus, Abigail, and Pierre, and Marnie. Yeah, that is basically what I did in here. I didn't have any need to buy seeds from him yet, because I wanted to save my money a bit. So I proceeded to go outside, and I met Sam, and then I met Leah, and so I'm just doing my best, meeting Penny, and I go and I try and dig in the trash for food. I found food, but Sam, I lost a little friendship with him. I went ahead and I met Alex, and then I met his grandparents, I believe, George and Evelyn. I proceeded to then make my way over to Clint's shop, and I then met Jody on my way back. Jody proceeded to talk for a while, and I decided for some reason to let it keep going. I proceeded to break into Jody's home and met her son Vincent, and I proceeded to break into Emily and Haley's home and met Emily. So I went on to the beach and decided I was going to collect some seashells, and I found a book, and I gave the villagers back their lost literature, meeting Elliot in the process. I checked through to make sure who I was missing, and decided to go and hunt for them next. I went up, and I met Demetrius and Linus, and we're talking to Demetrius now, but we then proceeded to find horseradish, and we met Linus. I feel kind of bad for Linus. I wish we could offer him a place inside. I tried to meet, Harvey, but I didn't make it in time, so I went over and I met Maru, which I totally ship her and Penny. They're together. I met Shane in the saloon along with Pam, and I honestly will probably feed into Pam's addiction a bit, just to get the battery packs in the mail. I went over into Haley's house, and I met Haley in the kitchen, and we talked for a bit. I might pursue Haley romantically, or Sebastian, who we are meeting in this scene. Yeah, we met him, big whoop. Returning home to my farm, I cleared it up a little bit more and deposited my findings of the day into my chest. And yeah, that is pretty much day 1. I went into my house and I went to sleep. And that is ending out day 1. We are switching into day 2 now. In day 2, I went and checked my mail. I got an advertisement for a backpack, but I'm not buying those until after the flower festival, because I need to save my money. I proceeded to hoe up some mixed seeds, and I got a letter from Willie, who we will proceed to go and meet later in the day. Proceeded to water my parsnips, and yeah, well, today we plan on going to meet Willie, as I previously stated. We will see what happens later on in the day. Having to refill my water bucket, and yeah. I planted my mixed seeds because I need those down anyways to just have planted. And I proceeded to go and get the Willy cutscene. Now, I have played for this cutscene 50 million times. If you want to watch the cutscene, go to YouTube. I proceeded to scour the beaches, and I got some shells and whatnot. And I proceeded to dig through the trash, and I found some soda. I've met Jazz, and yeah, she did not have much to say. Later on, I went in to actually meet Harvey. He's one of my favorite characters who are romanceable. And yeah, I don't know, I just really like him. I also proceeded to meet Caroline, as I hadn't met her the previous day. And we are almost finished with meeting everyone. I got these saying that it wanted me to give people a gift. So I gave a daffodil to Abigail and got 100 gold for winning friends. I went and talked with Emily and Jody and Evelyn when they were going into their aerobics club. And I went home and cleaned up my farm some. A lot that needed to be cleaned, and I only made a small dent on it today. I'm holding off on breaking any of the fluffy grass until I get a silo, because I want the hay for my animals for the coming winter. And so why would I make myself buy it from Marnie when I could have simply got it for free for 100 gold and 5 copper bars and 10 clay? So I'm cutting down some trees to make room on my farm so I can walk through, and I'm cutting down the stuff around my pond in the lower half of my farm, drinking some Joja Cola, but that did nothing to help me. So I went up and decided I was going to go and gather my horseradishes and try eating those. I regret eating those now because I could have just sold them, but I did get a little bit of energy. Now, granted, it was only enough for me to break a few more blocks before having to stop and go into my house and deciding that that was it for today, because it's just, I wasn't going to risk passing out. I don't have the gold to lose. We're going into day 3 now, and there's not a lot that we've actually done. And we did not do a lot for the first few days, but we did level up our foraging, so now we've unlocked field snacks. And I did not utilize them at all in these first 5 days, like I should have. So I checked my luck and I checked the weather. It was okay. I decided that today I was going to take my fishing pole and my other stuff, and I was going to go into the beach to farm clay and to fish. Later on, I did realize that I actually did need a pickaxe to go clay mining. So I'm glad I found it before I went and got it, found that out, and before I went all the way down to the beach, because that would have been a waste of time otherwise. But I did go back and I did find it, and now I'm working my way down to the beach. So yeah. I checked the help wanted thing, and it wasn't anything that I could do, so I just went on to the beach to try my hand at fishing. I am not the best at fishing. We will see later on in these clips. I believe I left a fair bit in, but this is heavily edited, and I am just not very good. Not very good. Just this clip says enough. I proceeded to sell my fish to Willy for the extra bit of gold. I should have already had bought the training rod from Willy. That's what I had done my first playthrough. But I didn't, because I am trying to preserve my funds. But I wish I had. I really wish I had, because this is just sad. This is very sad. So I decided to try my hand at clay farming. It did not go well for a long time, so I decided to eat my seaweed and keep trying. When I did eventually find it, I proceeded to get around, I think, 10 pieces of clay before it stopped working, and then by the time I realized that it wasn't going to keep working in that spot I was at, it was, my hunger and energy and whatnot was already way down. So if I ever try my hand at clay mining later in this series, I've got to make sure I have food. But it is kind of funny to watch it sped up. Yeah, I did get, what's that, 10 pieces? I can't read it from where I'm at. But yeah, I proceeded to debate buying beer or salad from Gus, but then I scrolled down and I saw what the food of the day was. I bought that without hesitation. I regret buying that. It only gave me 150 energy. I proceeded to go to my farm to sell whatever stuff I could. I sold like 7 pieces of clay and my forageables. Hopefully, I will get a profit from those, but I doubt it. I proceeded to spend the rest of my day clearing out bits of my farm to make room for more crops and more animals and stuff, because I am going to get the quest to farm animals eventually. And I decided to go on to sleep because my energy was getting low and I do not have the best track record of it. But that night, oh my gosh, a fairy came to my farm and like blessed my crops. And I don't know why she did, but I'm glad she did, because that gave me a nice little boost of money. And yeah, so I got a fairy. Cool. Now, day free of spring, I got 380 gold, so that was nice. I went over and I checked my fortune teller and I checked my TV for stuff. And I did waste a day looking for spring onions. I could not find any. So I'm guessing I just have to wait to find out. Hey, my parsnips grew, so that's really good. I got about 7 or 8 parsnips from this batch, I believe. I am not good at counting. I got I don't know how many. I can't read the numbers from here. This was a while ago. I got 100 gold for finishing that quest, and now I needed to reach farming level 1, and I needed to build a coop. Neither of which I was doing anytime soon. Returning to the beach on day 4, I went and tried my hand at clay mining. Regrettably, I didn't find anything and wasted a lot of time, so I decided to buy a training rod from Willie to practice fishing, and I'm still not good at it. I did a little better with the rod and whatnot from Willie because it had a bigger bar, but I didn't get many profitable fish, so I did get a few. It's not a bad haul, it's just not the best, so yeah, we got a bunch of sardines and I think some breams. So yeah, I did sell them all because you know what? It was a herring. I proceeded to go and talk with Sam just to say hi to him. And I went into Pierre's to debate buying some seeds. I thought it would be funny if I bought potatoes, and so I did buy potatoes. They were only 50 gold for seeds. They're not the best profit-wise, but I found it funny, okay? I really like potatoes in real life, and so this was funny. So I went ahead home, and I planted and watered them, and I went to sleep because my energy was low, and this is the last day, so we got our profits from the parsnips, 417 gold, and turning over into the last day of this video, I will say, this video has been pretty fun. It took about an hour to edit it. Oh, I finally got my animal, and I named him Autism. And yes, I spelled his name right the first time, but then I spelled his name Autistim. And I'm blaming the dyslexia for that, because by the time I had realized it, I couldn't change Autistim's name, and I just thought it was funny, okay? It was funny. Planting my last free potatoes, yeah, I just planted and watered them. I proceeded to try my hand at fishing that day as well. I did get some sardines, and I got a treasure chest which had some frozen geodes in it. So I decided to go to my home, and I decided to go to Clint's, which I then proceeded to get the community center cutscene, which I don't care for the community center. I think it's kind of stupid, and it's just time-consuming and boring. So I just sort of skipped it over a bit, and yeah, I don't really care for Mayor Lewis. I don't care for the community center. It just kind of sucks that you're the one who has to do it, and that none of the other villagers do self-improvement without player motivation. And so I just went on over to Clint. I do not like Clint, but I do like how he processes my geodes. I got some copper ore. I got some other stuff. Frozen tier, I think. Yeah, frozen tier. And I got a stone, which kind of sucks for a geode, but hey. I also got a pink rock, and I went over to investigate the community center, but I didn't find much of anything. I don't really have the stuff with me or to complete the community center chest. I always debate it, but yeah, I still have to get the letter from the wizard telling me to come on over and stuff, but yeah, so I headed on to check the traveling cart to see if there was anything I could afford. There was not anything I could afford. So I checked the wizard tower and I could not get in, so I just headed back to my farm to sell some stuff. And I debated selling my parsnips, but those are my last free, so I decided to keep them. And I also decided to keep my daffodil and my little rocks. And I went to sleep for tonight. And yeah, that's the end of this video. We will see you guys later. And yeah, bye!